welcome back. In the words of Lady Gaga, there's nothing else I can say. Except I will, because I'm talking and I can't just have 15 minutes of silence. Although it's been done before, but I think that would be a bit of a waste. I'm just doing my face because I washed my hair, did everything wash, feel clean. I did feel better after the shower, but before the shower I was walking around, I don't know, like just pissed off. And I'm still a little bit pissed off, but whatever. So to counteract that, I'm going to talk about things I've enjoyed lately, because hopefully it'll inspire positivity in me. And I'll just kind of go through some things, like recent things. So let's start with podcasts. It's so funny because like I used to be such a podcast head a few years ago, and I think now it's taken like a back seat. I think I definitely listen to more podcasts when I walk more, but I haven't been really walking lately, except for recently, which is why I'm back in it. And like I'm subscribed to a couple, but only one is actually active, so I listen to maximum one a week, or I have been listening to one maximum a week for the past, like, let's say 6 months. But yeah, because I like to have podcasts like uninterrupted. I don't like to stop and start, or I try not to anyway. So like for it to be like a big long walk, but there's not really a big long walks in Glasgow in the centre anyway, not without taking a car out for 20 minutes. Anyway, so I think also I'm very sensitive to voices. Like if a voice is annoying on YouTube, on a podcast, whatever, I will just switch off even if I'm super interested in the topic. There was a podcast series that was about like erotic thrillers of the 80s and 90s, I think. And that was just so my jam. Like that sounded exactly like the kind of topic I would want to hear about. But the person's voice was so grating, like her intonations. I was just like, I can't listen to this for more than 2 seconds, so I just had to switch it off. So I'm very sensitive, I guess, to people's voices, like on YouTube, etc. Like if I'm interested in a topic but the person's voice is grating, get the fuck out of here. So, but yeah, I don't know if it's just me. I'm just so quirky. I don't think it's a unique symptom, but I think some people can look past it and kind of just enjoy it for what it is and not get too pissed off about it, but I do get pissed off. So anyway, so my favourite podcast I've listened to lately was 2 parts, like 2 episodes, part 1 and 2, and it was called Why Didn't Chris and Dan, I think, Get Into Berghain by Search Engine, which is hosted by PJ Vogt, who did Reply All. A little bit controversial, but I do enjoy his voice. I enjoy his style of interacting with people, of interviewing, and I enjoy the topics that he talks about most of the time, like maybe 80% of the time, which is a pretty high success rate. So those episodes were really good. It was really interesting to just hear like a bit more background of it, about Berghain. I've never been myself. I think I know a few people who've been, but yeah, I don't think I would ever attempt it. The second time I ever went to Berlin by myself, I was staying at this hostel and I was just like in the common area, just like chilling, shy, because it was like my first days of the trip, so I didn't quite get into the groove of like interacting with people in the hostel yet. And this gang of people were like, yeah, we're gonna try and get into Berghain, or like we're gonna try and get into another club. And then one person in the group was like, yeah, I've been to Berghain before and no biggie. And I was just like, shut the fuck up. And I'm so sure he was also like, yeah, you guys go ahead, I just need to help my dealer, I'll be there soon. I was just like, shut up, shut up, like shut the fuck up. Anyway, so the podcast is good. I think it just like reminded me of that instance, and just like, no matter where you go, there you are, and there is the most pretentious person in the world as well. And sometimes those two people can be the same person yourself, but sometimes it can be a guy dressed in all black in a hostel. Anyway, so that was really good. And then another one that I enjoyed, kind of, was from the podcast, Sentimental Garbage. Except right now she's doing a season called Continental Garbage, because I think she's on a trip or something. I don't know. I just like dove in to the second episode of the Continental Garbage, and I was like, oh, I guess she's in Italy. So it's Caroline O'Donoghue and her friend, I can't remember the name, and they're on a trip through Europe, and they were talking about, like, I guess movies. I don't know the theme. I just saw the title, which was about Under the Tuscan Sun, the movie, which is one of my favourite movies, and I just pressed download. I didn't really think of like the context. So that was a good episode, most of it. I would say if you are interested in that movie and you want to just hear a good discussion about the movie, just skip to the part of the podcast about the movie, because the part before it where they're just gabbing about their own lives, I should have just skipped that. It got me pissed off. Something about that podcast, like, she has a lot of guests on who are very English, and it just grates on me. It's just like a very posh, like, English accent. Anyway, but yeah, I really enjoyed that podcast, and they had a lot of really good things to say about like being a single woman, and they were saying like people in couples like to have single women existing out in the world, the same way that we like to know that extinct species are still out there. To me it made sense. I was like, oh my god, yeah. And I think for me, I took it as like, it's a way for couples to know that, like, if all else fails, there's single people out there having fun. And I've noticed that a lot with like couples or people who are in couples. They'll be like, oh my god, so what's the stories? Like, have you got any stories? And they want to like know that there's still adventure out there should all else fail. But in the podcast, they were saying it was more like, it was a way for people who are in couples to feel reassured that as fun as it is to be single, it's slightly better to be in a couple. Which, like, is true and it isn't. You know? It depends. It's subjective, as all things are. Anyway, so that is two podcasts I really enjoyed. I obviously listen to Ride the Pod every week, and that's just a given. It's not even like, I couldn't even recommend a single episode, because it's just, you're either in the lore or you're not, and you just kind of just have to start from scratch. But yeah, that's fun too. And what else have I been enjoying? I watched Honey, the movie, for the first time ever the other night, because I have it on DVD. I have it as a combo. So now I've seen Step Up and I've seen Honey. I have not seen You Got Served yet. But that sounds cool as well. And I love dance movies. And I don't know why it took me so long to watch Honey, because it was really good. It was just very earnest. It was very like wholesome. To be honest, like, it's as wholesome as it can get while still dealing with, like, it's not super serious, but there's like a drug gang storyline, and the child goes to jail, and there's like sexual assault. But other than that, it's very wholesome. I think mostly because of Jessica Alba's performance. Some could argue it's not a good performance. I would argue that it is. I think she's just a sweet girl. She's sweet like honey. And she's sweet all throughout. She doesn't like change, you know, it's not one of those like, you changed, honey. Like, there's none of that. She's just a good soul throughout. She has good intentions throughout. And yeah, like the resolution is just obvious because it was always going to happen because she's a sweet person. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and there was a cameo. Well, there was several cameos, but the biggest one for me was Missy Elliott. And if I'd known Missy Elliott was in this movie, I would have watched it as soon as it came out. If I'd seen an advert and seen Missy Elliott in the advert, I would have begged my mum to take me. I would have hounded her to take me to Blockbusters to rent it out 3 times in a row. And I would have watched it like every fucking night with the commentary on. Anyway, so I watched that. That was really good. I'm trying to like watch the DVDs that I have because there's a few that I haven't seen, and I was gonna make that a video, but then I lost my Steam. I just like couldn't be fucked because I was gonna try and do it like all within 1 week, but I've just been so like just lethargic and just like can't be arsed doing anything new and challenging. Anyway, what else have I been enjoying? Music. I listened to the Dare's Sex, his track Sex, really, really good. I'm really enjoying that. I feel like there's probably more, but because my phone is filming, you're my phone, I can't look at what I've been enjoying. Oh my god. I don't know why, but the other day I got Sneaker Night by Vanessa Hudgens stuck in my head, and I've been listening to that on repeat for days. It's so good, guys. It's so fucking good. Put your sneakers on. We're gonna go dancing all night long. And like, that's how life should be and how it should feel as well. But it's not. Today, actually, in fact, that was a sign that I was like, something's not right, because I listened to it on my way to the gym and I felt nothing. I didn't want to put my sneakers on. Anyway, so that's been on repeat for sure. I'm really enjoying Magdalena Bay's new stuff. The other day I was playing their newest song in the kitchen, and it was the end of it, and my mum came in like, is that the sound of someone with a chainsaw? And I was like, no, it's music. She was like, you listen to some really crazy shit, girly. She doesn't get it. She just doesn't get it. She's not a cool soul like me. I've been watching a lot of Elementary. I've watched it in the past, but I think I only watched like a few seasons while it was on, and then I didn't have a Skybox anymore, so I couldn't watch it anymore. So I kind of like went back basically from the start, and I'm really enjoying it, and it's kind of making me crazy. It's a similar dynamic to me as Fox Mulder and Dana Scully in the X-Files. But yeah, I'm enjoying that a lot, although I feel like the Sherlock world, the like deduction detective aspect has seeped into my dreams, because the other day I dreamt about like a murder that Sherlock would then go on to solve. So I don't know, maybe I've been watching it a bit too much. What I've been reading, I started the Adrian Mole series from scratch last month, I want to say, because I've been in such a reading rut that I was like, I need something that I know I enjoy and that I know is funny and good quality. So I've been going through that. I'm now at the Wilderness Years. I am hitting the wall once more, but I will overcome. And then honestly, this is like a curveball. This is a crazy one. But I am going to recommend a fanfic. And it's a Pride and Prejudice fanfic, obviously. But honestly, it was so poetic. I mean, it's smart, so it's It's porn. It's erotica. Sorry. Can't a girl read erotica in her room by herself? Anyway, so yeah, I found this one and I was like, let's just, whatever, like, let's have a little go. And it was just some of the most beautiful writing I've ever read. And it's literally a one chapter Pride and Prejudice Darcy POV fanfic. You know, it's like there's a saying that's like that, you know, like it's not so much that like Einstein was a 1 in a million person, it's that like not enough people got the opportunities to become an Einstein or whatever, you know, that quote. That's how I feel about that fanfic author. Like, they could go on to be published, but they're on Archive of Our Own. But I will add the link because it's really good. Anyway, I can smell my chicken in the oven, so I need to go and make my potatoes now. And that's all I got this week. I really just have no energy. Maybe not physically, but psychically, emotionally, I have zero. I'm literally on empty. But maybe next week I'll have something a bit more fun than this, because it's a bit of a dud, but can't all be great ones, you know, can't all be great. Anyway,